Hey guys, sorry about that. I blue screened, so there was a B-side there on that one, and so I am getting back online. And after the little blue screen of death there, I'm going to once again bring Cat back in, and so bringing Cat back in. So. Yeah, so we completely blue screened there. That was unpleasant. Like, she was in the middle of, she was mid-word. And so the computer all of a sudden blue screened out, and no, not you. And she was mid-word, so just, it was like, So, Restream's got a couple glitches I've noticed, but it's working. We're working on it. We're working on it here. Let's see where it's saying what can it post to. It's saying that I can't reply to the personal profile. Okay, well, there's that. So anyway, yeah, a blue screen. That was unpleasant. I had a B-side. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, I don't know. It was saying something about not being able to post or something on my. I can't respond. I don't know. Anyway, generally speaking, I don't respond to you guys by typing anyway. I usually talk straight to you, so there's that. But yeah, so yeah, I got a B-side, and it was like right in the middle of Cat saying something, and it was really weird. So it locked up. We went to a blue screen, and then it was just like she was like, and then blah, and it stayed at this like noise until the computer restarted, which of course it had to do the classical B-side, collecting all your information. I'll be here for 25 minutes. Personal mood. Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Still waiting for Kat to join me. So she's probably still going to have to get in here and join the show. So, Andrew, you weren't here for the first part, I don't think. I didn't see you anyway. If you weren't, Kat and I were talking about using Clip Studio Paint to make comics, which was really cool. And Kat is doing a lot of work, and she's done work for like Tokyo Pop and stuff like that, and now she's trying to get to Shonen Jump. But she was showing me she was showing how to kind of use all the cool functionality of Clip Studio Paint. I really want to move to Clip Studio Paint. I have an EX copy, which is like the max level copy of, it was on sale one year, like 5 years ago. They had it on sale for $80 or something like that. And so I bought the full version of it. And I like the fact that you were watching episode 871. It's so One Piece to say that. But Kat explaining how to use Studio and use all of its functionality. It has a couple of things that still bother me, and I haven't figured out how to get over that. So I was just screwing around with Clip Studio. I don't know whether it was Clip Studio that B-sided the computer or whether it was Restream that B-sided the computer, but something B-sided the computer. You started episode 1 3 years ago. And you could watch Crayon Shin-chan. and then you'd be on episode 2500 or 2600 at some point in time. They're just ridiculous. Crayon Shinchan's just insane. How they find something to talk about for each episode is beyond me. And it shows the infinite. There we are. She's back. I'll join her in. There you are. Sorry about that, cat.
Yeah, my cat. No, you're good. Like, no worries.
Yeah, I don't know whether
I had to get up anyway. My cat.
I was gonna say I don't know whether it was my working with Clip Studio that besotted, or whether it was Restream that besotted, or so something besotted anyway.
Yeah.
But
it could have
like
honestly been
in
anything.
mid-word, so you were like, and that made it even worse because it had to collect all the information. And while I was collecting the information, it was just going, and I was like, oh god, this is horrible.
Gosh, that's funny.
So it was like
you know how I used to have my black hat. I still have it. I just found it. That's why I'm not complete without the hat. I just realized I didn't have it on. So I had to do it.
That's right.
Oh, it's really glitching on your end.
Yeah, you're cut too. I'm getting one frame every like 5 or 6 seconds at this point. I don't know.
If it's easier for me not to be on, so that you can stream, I'm okay with that. If it's easier.
No, we were having a great conversation. We only have about 30 minutes left of the show, so
okay.
And Andrew is saying your frame is the one that's freezing up. So this is sounds like it's coming from your side. That's
why I said if it's me, then I would understand.
It's all good. This may just be an affectation of, like I said. So what we were talking about earlier was that Restream still says that this is beta, the ability to bring in somebody else into this, and I will be submitting my blue screen to them today after the show is over. So it could be her internet, but I seem to have like a different weird every time I log into Restream and do this with another artist. But frankly, this is why I pay money for Restream, is because I would much rather just grab you guys and have you guys on here too. You know what I mean? That was the whole point. And so I'm actually paying.
Yeah, and
because it's worth it in my book.
Well, that, and I mean, like once you you're actually helping them develop it, so hopefully, like, you know, you'll access all that stuff. Hopefully, it'll pay off in the end later.
Yeah,
well, and I would use Restream more, but I have to be really careful, you know, because of Twitch and stuff.
Yeah, well, you've got the like I said, the best part about your whole discussion about that is that it's a cautionary tale. At some Twitch, I'm going to hit all of the markers that tell you that I can become an affiliate or whatever, and I'm going to decline the affiliate because I don't want to have this cut off. You know, I don't want to have to not broadcast to Twitch or broadcast only to Twitch. And yeah, actually, Andrew, Restream's awesome. I love Restream. So it's wonderful. So
yeah, I mean, Restream's pretty cool. I love concept. Like we used to, like when I started streaming, we used Rabbit, which was very, very similar. And you can do this on Discord as well, but you can't broadcast it to Facebook if you do it on Discord. So it's just hard in general to find like a good platform that streams everywhere. And it really sucks that they made the Restream not count. And I think the reason why they made that count is they think all of the views from all of the different sites count. And so people were using it to buff up counts. Even if they weren't getting them actually from Twitch. So I think that's why they got rid of it. And then there was another one, the multi-link, where you could set it up so that you could actually watch 3 or 4 different streams all at the same time, and you would get up to 2 of the views. So like if 3 of us were streaming, you know, the other 2 could watch your stream and it would count for you. But you could give link to all the different people in all the different chats, and they could watch all 3 of you at the same time.
Right.
They said, oh, well, you can't do that either. So
Yeah, I can't
They
tell
left.
whether, I mean, this is the era of social media, and it feels like we should
Mm-hmm.
all be able to, like you should be able to connect all of your accounts to this broadcast so that we're all broadcasting. It's about,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about like, because that's what I would hope for. It's all about views.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're getting nothing out of this except to be here,
Right, which is like I've tried like how many times?
Right. But I mean, like, other than hanging out with me,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting any views for it. You're not getting any
Mm-hmm.
benefit.
Oh, you are your own reward guy. You are
I think.
you are the reward.
But I mean, that's one of my big gripes is
Mm-hmm.
that like I'll have Raph on here, and Raph's got a pretty solid following, and he can't
Mm-hmm.
he can't wield his following while I'm on here. Now, Picardo will do that. I mean, like, we can link our Picardo accounts, and they'll both broadcast on both of our things, but only if you're broadcasting only in Picardo. Well, I have, like, nobody following me in Picardo. So might as well get a restream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and right, and unfortunately with Picardo, it's kind of turned into like a place like where you go to draw not safe for work stuff. That's kind of what it's turning into, which is really sad because they allow that there and they allow it on Twitch too, but Picardo doesn't like monitor it as heavily as Twitch does. This Twitch has gotten so huge,
Right.
and so it's just like you have this plus with me being sponsored. I'm not sponsored. I'm partnered with Graphically. I have to be really mindful of like what I'm saying, who I'm with, that kind of stuff. And so like even if I wanted to multi-stream with people, I'm really careful who I'm with because I have to keep in mind. And Graphically, they don't mind not safe for work streams. They just want to make sure that like everything's marked as such. And so like if I am with people who are like, oh, we're gonna have a clean stream, and then all of a sudden it changes not safe for work like that, then I'm like, okay, guys, I gotta deck out. Like I can't be doing this. And then I sound like the bad or the party pooper. Have to keep that stuff in mind. But,
well, and I mean that's another one of those, and this is one of my big pet peeves, right? It's safe for work to cut a character's head off, but it's not safe for work for them to have not a shirt on.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
That's one of my big pet peeves all along, and that's and it's always because to me, what I don't have a problem with nudity in comics. I have a problem with agency in comics. Right? I mean, like, girls are naked because somebody has taken their agency away, then I've got a problem. But, they're just...
Yeah, exactly.
they're just cleaning up, taking a shower, and all the things you do in normal life. And it's like...
Like Rumiko Takahashi, yeah. All of her naked characters are naked for a reason. They're not there to be fan service. They're just there because that's just what's going on.
Right.
That's why I like her work so much.
Ranma-chan, who keeps getting in the bath or getting dunked or whatever.
Yep.
She was a man 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. It's not like she's trying, or like they get their shirt cut. Like she cut the shirt before Ranma even turned into a girl, and that was how Ryoga finds out. So like that was the whole point, is Ryoga finding out. It wasn't to be fan servicey.
Right.
So like, because I hate when people are like, yeah, well, Ranma is so sexual, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's kind of making fun of the whole thing. Like, it's basically just making fun of, like, both genders is basically the point of that one.
Right.
It's the whole point of that series is just to make fun of the idiocy of, like, man versus woman. Like, they both suck.
Right.
That's what I got out of it.
Oh, your stream has sped up. Yay! I figured if we waited long enough, you'd catch up to speed somewhere along the line. Because either Restream was slow chugging through it, or
it might have been me. Because I've got a couple of different things up, so I tried cutting a bunch of windows. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, the good news is a BSOD and restart means that there's nothing running right now except for Restream. So at least we know. Whatever was, if there was anything clogging memory or anything like that caused it, then that's done.
You've had that problem a lot lately, haven't you?
Well, Restream has had some weird glitches, but they've always been something strange. It's never been the same thing. But yeah, I'm having memory issues with both my phone and my computer, which is irritating me.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Although I did go through and find out that my Google Drive had a copy of my Google Drive in it, so that helped. Once I cleared that out, that fixed that. Like
Yeah,
I
I was like,
Google Drive,
wait,
my
what?
Google Drive somewhere along the line. So
Mhm.
my Google Drive was constantly copying up and down to the cloud an entire copy of itself plus another copy inside it. So
That's
once I
really
cleared all
strange.
that up, there was a lot less traffic going on here.
Yeah, I bet. Mine's really weird on my phone in that every time I connect to Wi-Fi, it insists on downloading everything up to be offline, and it's like, no, don't do that. Like, if I want it, I'll get it. Like, it's online for a reason.
Right. Well, and on my main computer here, my Google Drive um, is entirely for storing everything. That's the point, right? Is that that's
Mhm.
what I. But I do like the instant access. One of the things that we have in the Google Drive is like I've got a whole bunch of my dad's, photographs here and stuff like that that I've been
Mhm.
scanning, and
Mhm.
they're ancient and they're old and they're very funny, and it's nice to have my dad get online and look at the pictures and go, oh yeah, that was 1971, and we were living in New Orleans at the time, and he goes and talks about like what's going on there, and then I add that to the pictures. So it's extremely useful to be able to share that with my sister and my dad and stuff like that. I've been kind of
Mhm.
putting all their photos in. But on the flip side, it's like a terabyte of data now.
Yeah, it's a lot of
All of
data.
the slides that he's ever taken, every photograph that my mom took, every photograph that my dad took,
Mhm.
and then as family members have been dying, they've been sending me all of their photographs. So I've got
Yeah,
all
feel
the
the
photographs
pressure.
for our family going all the way back to like the 1800s now, and I've been
Wow,
sending those in, and yada yada yada.
it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
It
It's
is.
awesome though.
It's sort of what I'll do like when I'm playing role playing games.
Mhm.
My character's on downtime. Like somebody else's character is right now doing something or whatever. I'll sit over here and I'll just scan. So I've kept my big scanner right next to the computer.
Mhm. I
And
need to get one.
well, this one's an 11 by 17. Prints beautifully.
Sorry,
Used to print
what was
beautiful.
that?
It's okay, computer.
I'm not sure.
Oh, my Alexa.
What's that?
Yeah, well, it's because I say that I've said it as any good Trekkie does. I've said it so the trigger word's not Alexa. I've said it for the C word. So I could say things like, computer, red alert. And it'll go,
Red alert. All hands at battle stations.
right?
That's the best. Like, you need. That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Right? Because any good
I need to do
Trekkie,
that.
Trekkies should always do.
I
All
need to set. I need to set that up with my stuff. Like, I would want to set it Dark Knight style. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't. I know that you can set it for Alexa or for computer, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know whether you can set it for anything else. But I
I'd
know
have to try.
Trekkies coded it, and so
Mm-hmm.
anytime
They could
Trekkies
figure it
is
out.
involved in something. But it is nice to be able to go, computer, what is 2 times 2?
2 times 2 is 4.
Right? It's really like very Star Trek feeling to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. You can just ask it a question and be like, "Hey, what about this? Hey, what about that?"
Yeah.
I'd be afraid that like I would be in a live stream and I would say something and then it would just like answer my question of like, "Oh crap, I forgot." Like,
Oh yeah, it talks all the time over there, which is
funny.
but I think it adds color now. I mean, because I'll say my computer is broken and I can see it. The little blue light comes on and it's listening to me, and then it gives up at some point in time. It's like, well, obviously you didn't say anything I understood. So, I get it.
My leg is asleep, Miso. I'm sorry.
So,
Miso, do you want Miso? You should come say hi to everybody. So this is Miso. This is Miso.
yay! Hi, Miso.
Hi.
I like the tongue.
Yeah, she's losing up, but she has a periodontal disease, and so she's losing her teeth. She's only She'll be 6 this year, and she's already lost almost all of her teeth.
Aww.
Yeah. So she's a precious being, right, Miso?
Bork.
Yeah, she just sticks her tongue out. So that's Miso, and this is Zeke. Come here, buddy. Come here, Papa. Oh, you little shit. He's like, nope. I'm gonna come when I want to. Here you go. Here you go. This is Zeke.
There you go.
He's the troublemaker of the group, right, Mister? Right, Mister? Yeah, he's like whatever. He doesn't care. He's the zipper. He's the one he's the zoomer.
Right.
And then Miso is just okay, whatever. She's like the Zennial. She just doesn't give a fuck. She just doesn't care. So
yeah, I've got other things to do, like lick my paw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Miso's like the mom. Like she's always like trying to clean up Zeke's face or like give him baths, and he's just not having it. And, like even right now, she's trying to give him a bath, and he's like, dude, stop! I don't need your help. I'm fully capable human being myself. And she's just like, yeah, okay, honey, shut up.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're my buddies. Well, I've had Miso since I was at Ringling, and Zeke is new. I'm technically just babysitting him. He's technically not my cat. I'm just babysitting him for a little while. So because my mom is out with my little brother who graduated high school this weekend.
Oh, and graduated high school in the middle of this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My kid's in 4th grade, so you know, he just ended 4th grade.
What was interesting?
Big deal, but
my mom pointed out that he graduated a month after 9/11, and now he was born a month before 9/11 and graduated during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to be terrified to see what happens when he turns 21 or when he turns 30. Like, are these kids just marked for disaster? So she's just kind of joking about it. And what's really sad, he wants to be a chef of all the career choices. So he's literally been going to college already for it. Like the last 2 years, he's working really hard. And so it's like, come on, dude. Like, I feel you. I'm an artist. I feel your pain. Just go out there and do it. Like, go work a food truck or something that's still open. Like, do something.
Yeah. Are you able to read the messages?
Yeah. Thanks, David. Congrats on the high school grad. Yeah, he's 10 years younger than me. I graduated high school in 2009. So it's been really strange, like knowing that I have a little brother in high school. And now that I know he's not in high school, I feel better now. But I'm also like, oh my god, he's graduated high school. How old does that make me? Like,
oh man,
I've had 10 years. What have I done with my life?
You know, I feel the same way. You're a youngin' to me. I graduated in 92.
I'm a baby. I was born in 91.
Right? When you were 1 year old, I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why I'm like, should I talk about this or not talk about it? But that's kind of been the.
It is weird because now my contemporaries, a lot of the contemporaries that I'm working with, like you could technically be my daughter. I mean, if I had you were like in high school,
isn't that weird?
Because you're a contemporary, you're clearly not like a kid,
it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's surreal because it's like, I for a long time, if you were young enough that you could, hang on, somebody's posting and saying, I was watching your Livedraw, but now it says they're having troubles playing it. Yeah, my computer crashed. I started a new video. So, anyway, she's posting that they're having problems. She can't see it. So I was like, yeah, B-sod. Happens from time to time. It's actually why I'm not switching over to screen sharing right now. I'm like, I'll just chat with you for the next 20 minutes. That's totally acceptable.
Yeah, I'm totally chill with that. I'm working and I've got all my stuff done on paper that I do when I'm at work. You know, I have breaks and then I have a 30-minute lunch. And so I'll just like I have a piece of paper and I'll just be like sketching out stuff on my lunch. And then I get home and then, I draw it. So I did 4 spreads last night during my live stream on Twitch, and so I'm going to try to see if I can get the other 3 spreads done today. That's kind of the goal. And then I have YouTube videos I have to do because I've joined a YouTube class, so I got to get that done. So, because I have a rare day off, my next day off isn't scheduled until the very end of August.
Very
so
end of August.
Mm-hmm.
That's your next day off? You mean you don't even get weekends?
Well, I mean, I get weekends off, but my weekends are spent entirely focused on YouTube and Twitch.
Which makes sense.
But my days,
schedule.
Yeah, my days off at the end of August are actually going to be for me preparing for the submission of the contest. Because it's due the 1st of September. So I've taken that whole last week of August off. So that I can have, if I'm running behind or I'm not on schedule, I'll have like a whole 9 days to kind of do the finishing touches, check any lettering, get it converted over to get it uploaded, because it has to be uploaded to Metabang. And the only concern that I have is I have a Metabang account, but I don't have any followers there. And right. I mean, but I can't be the only one, and I'm worried that might impact me. Or something, uploading might go wrong, and so I want to have a couple days just in case, so.
There's so many platforms now. It's so difficult.
Yeah, and they require you to upload it there. You have to upload it to Metabang. And then add a tag or something. There's a whole weird process for uploading it, and I just want to make sure I can upload it correctly.
Right, done correctly.
Yeah. So I took I saved all my PTO, because I was going to use it for my birthday. And then once the contest got announced, because I was going to go take a trip, I decided to not take the trip instead. And I was just going to go to a state park or something for a week and go camping. But I decided not to do that. I'm saving it for the contest. So I'm literally putting all chips in, sacrificing my PTO that I've worked very hard for the last couple months. We'll see how it goes. And what's really sad is even though I've already taken off the PTO for it, that counts the PTO that I will earn up to August. So there's no PTO left between now and the very end of August. So if I get sick,
right?
Oh, we don't get sick.
Totally makes sense.
I think it's worth it though. So if I take a day off, I have to take it off unpaid now. I don't know. I really don't want to go to work on my birthday because it's on a Monday.
Yeah.
So I might just take my day off and be like, it's worth it. It's worth it. I get a day off. I get to sleep in. Oh, wait, no. Our next day off is July 4th. It's July 4th. That's a Friday. So we do get that day off.
Right.
So.
There you go. But still.
Mm-hmm. So I'll have that Friday.
Although I am having a problem with things are now being scheduled in June. And I'm like, June? That's so far away. Oh, that's next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
A lot.
I turned 27 in about 3 weeks, and it's like, what? No, it's not 3 weeks away. And then I'll look at my calendar, and it's like, oh, damn it! My first month for the contest is already gone. Right. So.
But the piece that we saw earlier, that was your comic for this, right?
Yeah. That was I'm on I'm on page number 25 of 50. Yeah. So I'm halfway through the layouts. And I have more somewhere else, but they're not as detailed as these. And that was my goal. I'm trying to decide if I want to make that my goal today. Is to just forego YouTube and just focus on getting all my layouts done. But it's only, the 25th? So I've got 5 more days to get the other 25 pages done.
Right. Well, and that's sort of what I was thinking, too, was you've got a lot of it already laid in. So that's
right, but I don't stay home. I still have to go to work every day. And so, and then I still
out of here, you're going to be kind of moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, this is fine. Like, I don't mind. Like, I can easily stream and talk. Like, I'm on Twitch all the time. I'm used to streaming and talking all the time. It's just, having to go into work and still make time to stream after I get home, which is difficult. Let's be honest, sometimes I don't freaking feel like it. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. I'm tired. I've fought all day with the printer. You know how printers are. Especially when they're on an industrial level. Like, I've got one that wasn't printing white for like 3 months. We couldn't bring someone in because coronavirus.
Right.
So it's been sitting there for 3 months. I've had to keep cleaning it for 3 months, even though it's not working. And then all of a sudden one day he decides to print just fine. And it's like,
yeah, like that's a clogged head or something bizarre. I can see that already.
it's the white, yeah. It's been the white, and the white that we use is made from titanium. So that's where I thought is it just had to come through, like it just had to seep itself through. That's kind of what I'm hoping happened. But it was definitely above the print head. It was either the print head, the damper, the tube, or the cartridge. It was one of those 4 things. So far he's printing okay. There's like some weird alignment issues I gotta get fixed, which is easy to do. I just have to spend time to sit and do it. But my other printer is running constantly. It's a rotary printer, so we're just printing cups and stuff. Just like I have to be there and rotate it every single time because I've got this huge order of like 240 cups I gotta get printed. And I just did 500 name tags. So, and now I've got all these acrylic awards and stuff, but so normally I'm running back and forth between 2 printers all day long, a flat printer and then a rotary printer. But the flat printer has not been, he's been bad. And the rotary printer can be a flat printer, but I have to like change out the parts. And so it's really annoying when someone comes in and says, "Hey, we've got an order for a flat." And I'm like, I just put the rotary in.
I follow that.
So,
Printing is a fascinating thing. Printing is just really weird and interesting.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy who does that for conventions. He just like goes around and prints stuff and then sells them at conventions. And so he keeps printers and things like that. And so I keep hearing all of these stories.
Yeah, a lot of people, like when I tell them I'm a printer, they're like, "Oh, you mean like at Staples or something?" I'm like, No.
Like the real printers.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, "Well, it can't be that hard. Like, I print stuff at home all the time. Like, how hard could it be?" And it's like, honey, there's more than one type of printer. Like my printer, like it's a cup. It's like this. It's a cup. It rotates, print, rotate, print, rotate, print, and it does that forever. I have to know the right setting to use for like the material that I'm using. Am I doing gloss? Like, hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
So like it's more than just that. Plus, are we printing on crystal? Are we printing on plastic? Are we printing on metal? Like all that stuff matters. And like, how many layers of white do I have to use? One of the printers won't read just straight white, like all zero. It won't read it. So I have to trick it by turning the white 1. But then it's never a pure white. And then the other printer will handle white just fine when it's all 0. So it's like, I have to keep in mind like which printer I'm sending it to and how I have to format it. And then of course the print software is different for each printer because one's a Logojet, one's a Momaki. So it's like I have to, manage the software. So it's like
there is a certain amount of logic to buying all the same machines. I've noticed that there's a lot of people who stick to one machine, and I totally get that because these are not the same caliber printers you're talking about at all. But I have a Canon and an Epson, right? And it's completely different software for both of them. And so to print to my Canon, because my Epson won't print anymore, I keep changing they're both inkjets. So but they clog, and I don't print enough to keep them from clogging and things like that. And it's just horrible. So really I use my Epson to scan in a bunch of pictures for my dad. Because the big flatbed, or whenever I work on large format, because it is an 11 by 17 scanner. The big thing is it's an 11 by 17 printer as well. If I can just get the head line and things like that,
Just hard to do when
And
it's that big.
it'll print on a Bristol board, which, I did have a workflow for a while where I would draw something on 11 by 17, just like sketch with pencil, scan that in, convert it in Photoshop to a blue line, and then print it on a Bristol board for inking, which was a fun process. But then, of course, I'd go between books, and as soon as I was between books, there'd be 2 months or something like that where there'd be downtime, and by the next time I'd print, all the heads were clogged.
Yep.
So I'd have to buy, $50 worth of printer ink to get it back up to running again. And since the heads had all clogged, you go through half of a cartridge of ink just spraying ink out to clear the head.
Honestly, the solution is just like every other day, just like run a clean cycle. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just that way, because that keeps the ink moving. So like, and that's hard to remember. But like my printers, the problem that we have is if they sit more than 2 or 3 days, you have to do a full clean and everything. So every Monday when I go in, I have to go and clean the printers really well. There was a time where I was gone for a week, and so I had to have my department supervisor just run a clean cycle on the printer for me. And he's like, "Well, how do I do that?" So I had to like write out the instructions. I need you to do this, while I'm gone, like every other day. Like, you have to do it, or when I come back, the printer's not going to be working.
Right.
So, and he did, but the problem that I've run into is for the rotary printer, I'm the one that knows how to use it.
Right.
So if I'm not there, it's not running, unless I can actually like write it down. And the software is just the software I think is more intuitive than the other one, and he knows how to run the other one. So now that he knows how to run the other one, he's like, "Well, I don't understand how to run the new one." So.
Welcome back, Brent. Good to see you, man. Yeah, printers.
Printers,
well, that's the reason for this guy, right? Because now
yes.
I have the huge real estate. I don't need to worry about it. I can just draw. All I need to do and draw and everything like that. It's right here. And so it is so much. It kills so much paper to do the old way, the way I was doing it, because I'd go through 2 sheets for every page. Although what I was doing was ash canning the original design, and then scanning the pages of the ash can in, blowing that up to 11 by 17, and printing that out as blue line, and that helped.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll scan these in sometimes, and I'll, if I really, really like how the sketch came out or the ash came out, I'll just do that and then just use that as the pencils.
Right. I'll go get you, because we were just talking about this, and I just had them over here. And let's see if I can find one, because I just had it like just a moment ago, because I've been cleaning up my office, and so I had found ash cans of mine. I don't know if I can find it yet. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Well, maybe I can't find it. I've stacked. Oh, here they are. I've stacked these things on. I've stacked everything over here on the couch while I replace all these bookshelves. But an ash can is when you take, and I have a long neck stapler. And
okay.
Just make because this way I can see how they're going to look.
There you go.
Whenever I finally get everything figured out, I can actually see what it's going to look like.
Like a preview, so you can see where things might not line up well, or how they'll actually look together.
Or should I? Because it's hard to make the assessment. Okay, well, I'm on page 6. But if you want to do something like have it so that on this page you have, oh no, will the monster attack us? And then you want to turn the page to "Roar, monster!"
Make sure it lines up.
Yeah, you want to make sure it lines up, so you want to know that that's the way it's going to be. So I like to do the ash canning by physically, I just take normal 8.5 by 11. I have a long neck stapler, which I bought. It's one of those staplers that's really, really long and has a stapler on an arm. so
That's
it can
cool.
staple into that. And that's one of the things I like to do. But then I'll ash can it, and sometimes I'll ash can it. And oh, this looks nice. I like just the way it laid out, and so I'll just scan it in and then use that as the rough.
Mm-hmm.
So what I really need to do though is every time I've done ash cans in the past, I just take just generic paper. But I think I need to go print something with the blue line safes for manga on it, because when I blow it up, it's in manga perspective, or it's in manga size. It's in B4 size, and so which is different aspect ratio than.
I have the liter paper. Let me just get a scan for you and send it to you.
I have it too. I just haven't put it in.
Okay.
So what I was saying was I need to print the blue line on either side, on both sides of the paper, so that when I make these ash cans, each page has the blue line safes.
Oh, okay, I see.
I keep thinking about that every time, and then I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I get to ash can stage, and I just grab a stack of paper and staple it. And then later I'm like, that's right, I was going to do that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I do this every time. I'm like, I was going to do that. So that's a thing that's kind of funny. So anyway, ash canning is a great way to see. It also gives you a good idea of, especially since my ash cans are the size roughly of a manga.
A final, yeah.
Yeah, so it gives me a good idea to see that, on this page I've made seven panels, and really I can't see this person's face. I mean, it's going to be too small, or it's going to be in the gutter here, and I need to, so that's I like doing that. I was saying that because I saw that you were physically drawing them out too, and I'm like, it's nice to see that I'm not the only digital artist that physically draws on paper.
I start almost everything on paper. I have the first drafts that I did were a lot smaller. I did these really, really, really tiny, like just layout the sketches that were just so small. I started that first, and I like to use a graph paper because I can make sure that the proportion is roughly correct. So I can make sure, I know roughly this is going to be the size of the page, so that when I'm trying to figure out the panels or just the compositions, and the drawings are like super, super rough. They're not very clean. They're not very neat. They're mostly just stick figures, but because I'm just trying to figure out like how many panels do I want. And I was at that point like, well, I have to have the story in 55 pages. So that was more scripting. This is more trying to figure out, like, how do I want the layouts on the individual pages to go. So for the most part, my drafting, I still do traditionally, mainly because I'm at work and I don't have something I can take with me.
Call your computer over there.
Yeah. So, so that's easier to do that way. But just in general, just for some reason, my brain just thinks easier on paper when I'm trying to plan things. It just...
stuff.
Yeah, it just, I don't know why. Maybe that's just because, at our school we were trained to work on paper so much more.
I think that's true because I was too. I mean, I think that's where it is that when we were in school, they didn't stick us on the computers right off the bat. They didn't let us have the computers until later. And so we started with, Art 101 was big, huge pads of paper, Yeah. And it's like,
yep.
And charcoal. I hate
like these, like, I hate charcoal. It's like a gritty, like, feeling like hand.
It's everywhere.
And it gets everywhere. You have to carry that stuff around with you. It gets all over your clothes. It gets on your books. It gets on your face. It gets on your hands. And you never ever get it all.
That's the part that makes me mad. Is it gets on all of my other art, and I'm like, you charcoal things need.
And sometimes it's erasable, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just not. It just can't go away. And it's not like you can. It's not like when you're in art school and you're on campus. It's not like you can necessarily go home, put that stuff away, and then not have to carry it around with you everywhere.
Right.
So if I had the time, I would run back to my car, put the charcoal stuff in the car, and then go to my next class if I had the opportunity. Because my charcoal class was always in the morning. So was my painting class, always in the morning.
Right.
And so you had these
things. It always starts that way, and you're like, really?
Yep. You have your stupid oil canvas that you have to carry around with you everywhere, and got all your tubes and it's heavy, and your next class is up 3 flights of stairs. The elevator's not working, so like carry everything with you. I think that's why I lost so much weight at Ringling is because I was carrying around all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it was just
Kat,
this.
well, we're done for the show for the day. Where can they?
Yeah.
Where can folks find you?
Let me get a link here. So I mostly stream on Twitch. Let me get my Twitch link here for you guys. I am Art Crumbs on Twitch. I'll get a link for you guys.
I'm going to put it up here on screen because you'll probably be with me again. I figure.
Yeah, I'll be
again.
Yeah, so I put it in the Facebook thing, the chat there. So that's me. That's the easiest place to find me. I've got links to my YouTube there, which I also post on. My Instagram is also on my Twitch account. I'm actually going to be streaming on Twitch here pretty soon, maybe within an hour or so. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and then I'll be heading over to Twitch.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for joining me, Kat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm sorry if I took over. I didn't mean to do that.
Actually, what I love about this is we can talk shop, and that's also interesting, right? I mean, people don't think about how complex making comics is, but it's very, very complex. There's lots of moving parts. There's lots of pieces going all over the place to make the comic people just read for 10 minutes and then throw aside. And we've gone through like months and months and months of work to make that happen.
Especially manga, like they said, it was made to be disposable, and it's like made to be disposable. What?
Yeah, I know.
Like
our heart and souls go into this, and it takes us weeks to make these things. And as a manga artist, we're responsible for all the steps. You know, the American artists, they've got an inker and a penciler and a script writer and yada yada yada, and manga artists just do the whole thing.
And they only give us like a week for 20 pages on top of it. So
you got to be on it, doggone it.
Fast. Okay. Yep. You got to be Sonic fast.
Right? Okay. Well, it's good to have you on my show. Thank you. And this works. Thanks for having me. Well. And I will talk to you. And I'm going to go ahead and disconnect so I can go ahead and do my tail out. So I will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for me. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.